Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stormworks. We are back and we are not building in this episode. Finally, the flying carrier is on the workshop, as you guys can see. So this is just going to be kind of a quick little tutorial video. So we're just going to kind of walk around it. I'm going to show you guys some footage of the inside so you can kind of get a better feel for the inside. And, I'll kind of teach you about some of the features, how to use some of it. It's not a very complex aircraft. I did that on purpose because it's big. If you've been following the series, you'll kind of know that. You'll also notice this has way less like detailing and paint blocks than most of my creations. That's just, I'm just trying to keep the file size down on this, and that's just so you guys can hopefully use this a little bit more in the game. But yeah, this is the flying carrier. The basic idea of this really is to just carry parasite fighters on it. So it's something in between the 747 and the CL-1201 concept, and we're just going to get this bad boy started up and in the sky. So you saw before I got in the seat here, I folded the wings down. Make sure you guys do that. They are folded up so you can spawn them in the hangar at FJ Warner. Not the little hangar, the big one for the ships. But basically just throttle up, get it to around 60. That's what you're going to need to get this thing in the air, especially if you got some cargo on it. And it's a little slow off takeoff, but just trust me, it'll fly. It actually flies quite nice once you get it in the air. And look at that, just got to pull back just a little bit, and it wants to lift off itself. So the landing gear is right there on the center console, and we'll just watch those fold up real quick. Nothing too complicated there either. I tried to use as few physics bodies as possible, so a lot of them are kind of attached, and it's just a pretty basic landing gear setup. But there is suspension on it. But yeah, now that we're in the air, I am just going to kind of turn this thing around and head back towards the islands. As you can see, quite an aggressive maneuver there. This thing's definitely got enough thrust to weight to basically just climb vertically if you really want to, which is funny. It is powered just by the two jet engines there. And they got a little bit more controls. We'll get into that in just a second, but I do want to get this thing leveled off. You can see we're at about 5,000 feet, so I'm just going to stick that into our altitude hold, flick the switch, it's easy as that, and that key there is our gyro. So these four switches on the bottom there, you saw, those are for the engine. This is one other thing I want to show real quick. This is just if you guys want to mid-air refuel. That's where the port is for the jet fuel. Obviously not going to be super easy to do that. It's not really the main goal. In lore, this thing probably would fly with the AWACS I made, but right now we're not, whatever, and it just uses a normal fluid connector, so you guys should be able to mid-air refuel with pretty much anything. I put it on the side of the wing there just in case something's on the top of the plane, so you guys might ask. I know that's kind of weird, but that's kind of why it's there. And right there, I was just flicking some buttons. You guys saw they were the fire extinguishers for the engine and repair torches. So each engine has those. Now, I'm going to show you how the map screen works real quick. I know we're kind of moving fast, but just select a point. You're going to click this square button and enter it. And then if you want to circle around that target, just turn the loiter key. But in order to engage the autopilot, you're just going to turn that button on right there. And we are going to start heading towards that point. Now, this map screen back here, it is a nav plotter, so you can plot 9 points. You can switch between them, and the other cool thing about it too is if you turn the loiter key off, once you get about 2 kilometers away from waypoint 1, it'll start heading towards waypoint 2, and then it'll go to waypoint 3, and so on. So that's kind of a nice feature of that. You don't really need to switch it. It will switch manually to the next point, so you can kind of just chart a plot if you want and let this thing fly. The idea of that really was, this thing is so big, you're probably not going to want to spend a lot of your time in the cockpit itself, so you can set a lot of these systems, have the plane fly itself, and then just kind of walk away. This is kind of cool right here. This is a jump indicator. This is for cargo dropping and people dropping. Basically, it's just a signal light. The light will turn green when you get 1 kilometer out from your target. Just going to show off these turrets real quick. Guys, don't worry about this target. I know it's off-centered. I'm going to go back and fix it. It should be on-centered, just like this one. Yeah, so that one, you guys can see that one is nice and on the center of the screen, so I'll go back, I'll fix that. Obviously, probably get an update or two. I'm sure this thing's so big, I'm sure there's a couple things I missed, so if you notice them in the video, let me know, and their chances are they've probably already been updated, but if not, I will try to get them fixed. So the other key thing about this is the docking. So you can see that yellow light is going to flash on whatever hard point you have selected, and you can switch between a laser beacon or a physics sensor. Now you can only broadcast one hard point at a time, guys, so you can't dock multiple planes at once. I did that so we don't have to have 4 different radios going at one time, bogging the game down. I'm not going to show you every little nook and cranny of this aircraft. It is big. It does have real plumbing, just like most of my aircrafts, or most of my vehicles. We do have a nice little escape pod here. This is more of like a last resort. It leaves a hole in the aircraft, so kind of just really don't use that if you don't have to. The next thing in here is just kind of a boarding room. Now there's a map that you can switch to. You can switch to receiving a video signal, and then you also have this little camera here you can control with the handheld remote. And we're just gonna kind of take a stroll through the cabin, I guess. So we just got a nice seating up area up here for a lot of guests. Probably want them seated for takeoff and landing. And then we have a nice little equipment room, armory, whatever you want to call it. Over to the right here, we have a bunch of desks. Not really going to get too detailed into showing a lot of this, guys. You guys can obviously explore it. Now, I did not finish the outer wingtips. Again, guys, I was trying to keep this under 14 megabytes. It's under 12 actually, and the reason I did that is so you can spawn your own aircraft on it. But basically, it's to be fair, there could be a lot more features, and I know that. But basically, it kind of came to a point where, do you want features or do you want it to be usable? So I kind of want it to be more on the usable side. I might make a gutted interior version, but for now, this is kind of more set up for multiplayer and role playing, that kind of thing. So going over to this other side, we have the top mounted turret up there. You can crawl up into that seat and control it. And then right off of this, we have a ammo storage room. This ammo storage room is sharing it with the hardpoint. So each one of these hardpoints for the planes, this is one of the hardpoint rooms. Each one of those has a little armory, so you can, refill some of the guns on the aircraft if possible. We're just going to go back here. We have the, absolutely required washing machines. And we're just going to head downstairs. So head all the way up here. This is the next stairwell, and towards the front we have a galley with a seating area, a nice little TV. All these rooms on the right are bedrooms. They are for the challenge winners. If you guys didn't see that, we have a ton of vehicles that work with this aircraft. Go check them out. There's a challenge video of us kind of going over all of those. But we got a med bay up here, just another kind of seating area, nice little bar. So this would be like a nice, kind of place to hang out. I put the artificial horizon down here in case you want to hang out, but also, kind of keep a monitor on what the plane's doing. And then, of course, the massive cargo bay. So that's the other really big area on this plane. We're not going to get into too much depth with the cargo bay. We've got these, nice little windows, viewing areas all over the place, but that's more or less it. We've got some fuel pumping capabilities. We've got some water lined up along the other wall, and we got some doors on the outside here for crew to jump. Anyways, we've just got, just a bunch of equipment back here, tie downs, ropes. We have a key to that jump indicator, and we're just going to head back upstairs. I'm going to show you guys the planes real quick, the parasites. So I only have one on the plane right now, but I'll show you how to launch it. There's really only one step here, and it's this lever. So make sure you guys do not forget this lever. That lever folds the arm down, so if you're playing solo and you don't fold that arm down, well, you're going to have nothing to connect back to. So make sure you fold that one down. If I'm playing alone, honestly, I would just fold all 4 of them down. There are controls for it up in the cockpit. But really easy to launch from these things. What I would actually suggest you do is get your engine running at idle and then release. Do not throttle up and then release. You want to fall behind the plane, not in front of it. Kind of sounds weird because it's got the split tail behind you, but just trust me, it will be a lot smoother if you launch from behind. But anyways, we'll just give a couple real quick flybys, and then we'll get this thing docked back to the carrier. Now, not all of the vehicles will dock to the carrier the same way. Mine is using a very basic hook system, which is kind of funny. Did not mean to press that button. Gonna keep it real with you guys. Did not mean to press that. Meant to click the gyro, but I can't read apparently. And yeah, so basically what we're going to do here is it's pretty similar to landing on a normal carrier. You're just going to follow your meatball all the way in, and we're going to put that meatball, instead of right above where we want to go, we're going to put it right below where we want to go. And since the aircraft carrier is turning right now, we're actually going to aim a little bit to the right. So you can see that's kind of exactly where I want to just keep the meatball, a little bit to the right and underneath. And we're just going to follow that all the way in, and once we get closer, hopefully we'll get a hook grab. And boom, right there. So pretty easy. Well, not super easy. I make it look easier just because I've had a lot more practice. But if you guys practice this for maybe half an hour, you'll get it. It's really not too hard. What I would suggest you guys do is when you get in close, turn with your roll, not your yaw, and also try not to play with the throttle. Just find a throttle that you're comfortable with and just ride that throttle all the way into the hard point. But anyways, you once you get it attached, you can come back up here. You can get it refilled with fuel. It pumps diesel or jet, whatever you guys got to use. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the features for this guy. So I guess we'll just kind of go around and mess around a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a ton of other aircraft on the workshop. I have a collection. It will be in the description. And more than welcome to let me or one of the mods know in our Discord server if you have another aircraft that works, and we'll add it to the collection. But I'm just going to grab a bunch of gear in here, and I'm going to gear up and get ready to jump out the back of this thing. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for the Flying Carrier. If you guys like the series, thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. This thing is not a very complex creation, but it definitely should hopefully be pretty fun for you guys. I mean, you can drive a full-blown truck onto it and fly 4 planes under its wings. So it's got to be at least a little bit fun. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for you guys in this one. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. And I'll catch you all in the next one. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.